Alright, and here's episode 1 of the Eternal Modding tutorial. Today we'll be looking at texture modding, specifically applying it to weapons. Now, the following that I'm going to tell you can apply to pretty much every weapon, but specifically we're going to just be looking at the combat shotgun for today. So for organizational purposes, I have a folder called combat shotgun on my desktop already, and I'm just going to create a new folder in that, and I'm going to call it PNGs. Now, you'll see why I have this later. And then a couple prerequisites you'll need other than that. So first off, in my downloads folder, I have the Heckin texture converter and VEGA, which is an asset extractor. And I've got an image manipulation program. In this case, I've got PaintDotNet, although if you have GIMP or if you have Photoshop, those will work as well. And we have Substance Painter. Now this one's optional, but it helps a lot, and you'll see what I mean later on in the video. So I'll leave links to all 4 of these things in the description. For now, I'm going to take the Heckin texture converter. I've already extracted it. I'm just going to cut it. I'm going to put it on my desktop. I'm going to put it in the combat shotgun folder. Then I'll go back to my downloads. I'll grab Vega, cut this out, cut out the exe, and then I will head to my Doom Eternal directory, which is browse local files right there, and then I'll just paste it. Now, you open up Vega, and you'll see a screen that looks like that. Before you do anything else, go into your settings, uncheck Load Images, Load Materials, Load Animations, and click on Wavefront OBJ. Now, before you do anything else after this, double check and make sure you don't have any weapon mods in your mods folder. In fact, if I were you, I'd just clear out your mods folder, and then run the injector, let it clear out your mods, open up Doom Eternal, and then just close it. And then you want a clean install of Eternal, basically, so you can grab all the necessary files. So after that, go into Game Resources, and it'll list a bunch of models. In this case, since we're working with the shotgun, this is what we're going to do. And generally, you might have to do a little bit of trial and error, although I just like to look for the one that's directly named what I'm looking for. So this one says shotgun.md6, so this is what I'm looking for. So I'm just going to click on Export Selected. Wait for the progress bar to fill. Click OK, you can exit out of Vega, and you'll see exported files right here. You'll see models, shotgun, and then you'll see an OBJ file, an MTL file, and then underscore images. Now, first thing we're going to do is go into underscore images. And we're going to select everything that just has the name. So combat shotgun underscore barrel, combat shotgun underscore base, all these end in DDS. And you're going to select all those. You should have, for the combat shotgun, you should have 6 in total. Okay. Now, if you are using Substance Painter, you also want to select all the ones that say underscore N. And these are the ones that are blue. These are normal maps if you know what those are. If you don't, I'm not going to go into them here. You don't really need to know what they are. You just need to know what to look for. And since I'm going to show you how to use Substance Painter, I'm just going to cut all these. I'm going to go back into my combat shotgun folder, and I'm going to paste it here. And then, for sake of ease, I'll also just go back, I'll grab the model, I'll copy it. And then you can feel free to cut, copy, whatever you want to do with these. You'll be able to retrieve them later by running Vega again if you mess up, so don't worry about it too much. Okay, now, if you are just using PaintDotNet, you can just like come here and I can say, okay, well I want this shell to be green instead of red. So I can make a new layer, I can go to lime green, 0250, and then I can just paint over it. If I so choose, I can just do this. This is a model where it's really easy to tell, or I'm sorry, this is a texture where it's really easy to tell how it unwraps. So I don't really feel the need to go into Substance Painter. And if you can do this with every single texture, you're golden. You don't need Substance Painter. You can just go with this, and you're done. When you export this, you can save it as a DDS, or you can save it as a PNG. File, save as. I like to keep it as a PNG, and then you can just save it in the PNGs folder like that. Just like that. But I think for textures that aren't as easy as this, it's much easier to work with Substance Painter. And so the first thing you're going to want to do is all these DDS files need to be converted to PNGs, including the normal maps. So I'm going to open all of these in PaintDotNet, and very simply, I'm just going to go through them one at a time and save them as PNGs, and that's what this folder is for. So, a bit of a tedious process, I'll skip through this, but by the time I'm done, I'll have them all as PNGs. Alright, and there's the last of them. So now we have all the textures converted into PNGs. So we're going to want to open up Substance Painter, and we're going to click on File, New, for Template, stick with PBR Metallic Roughness, and then where it says File and Select, click on that. go into your folder where you have the OBJ file and quick editor's note, before you actually click OK on this, just make sure you go to where it says document resolution and you change that to 4096. This is the default size of Doom Eternal's textures, so if you have it in 1024, which is the default for Substance Painter, it'll actually compress them, so just make sure you do set that before you actually hit OK. So now, you'll see you have this model of the combat shotgun, and it's very basic. It doesn't have really its bump, and it's kind of, if you're observant, you'll notice it has both the scope or the sight from the explosive shot, but it also has the rotator from the full auto. So on this side where it says texture set list, you'll notice combat shotgun barrel, combat shotgun base, pop rocket ammo, triple burst ammo. So triple burst is full auto, pop rocket is explosive shot, base is this end of the shotgun, and barrel is for the unmodded barrel of the shotgun. So if I were to hide all of these, you can see it's just the unmodded combat shotgun. If I were to hide the barrel, show the pop rocket, and show the ammo, now it's the explosive shot, hide these two, show these two, and now it's the full auto. So with that in mind, what we're going to do is we're going to click on project where it says shelf, you click on project, and then we're going to open our folder right here where we have all our PNGs, and we're just going to take all of them, we're going to drag them in, and then right here, click on one of these, Control A, make sure all of them turn gray, where it says undefined, click texture instead, so that Substance Painter knows their textures. Import your resources to project, PBR metallic roughness, import. And so now what you can do is show one of these. So I'm just going to show the barrel for now. I'm going to click here, and then where it says layers, I'm going to go to this little fill bucket right here. I'll click on that. Fill layer is going to be added. Oh, didn't mean to do that. Can you move? There we go. Alright, so right here, you'll see color, height, rough, metal, and normal. Uncheck height, uncheck rough, uncheck metal. And since this is the barrel, you're going to find the corresponding one. So in this case, this is the one I believe that says combat shotgun barrel. Okay, so put that on base color, and the one that's blue, put that on normal. So as you can see, now the barrel of the combat shotgun actually looks like the barrel of the combat shotgun from the actual game. You're going to want to repeat this process with every single one. You want to make sure that you're clicked onto the right thing when you apply it. You don't just show it, you have to actually be selected on it with the little blue outline on it. So I'll run through that as well. Alright, and now you'll notice that this is fully textured and the normal maps are in. And it'll tell you fill layers are not paintable, so you're going to have to create a paint layer. So we'll just work on the base for now. We're going to create a new layer. We're just going to add this right here. And then we're going to choose a color. I'm just going to choose lime green. Base color. There it is. 00FF00. Okay. And then we can just come over here and we can just paint. Or I can go on this side and I can just paint it. Either way, either one works. Increase the size just to make this a little faster. There we go. Just completely greenify the base. So now the base is green, and that's what we wanted. So as you can see, even if we were to take off the triple burst, put this on, it's consistent. You get the idea. So this will let you actually preview what your skin will look like depending on what mod is actually attached, which is very helpful. Or if you don't have a mod attached, I'll also show you that as well. So now, second editor's note, something I completely forgot to mention is that when you're going to the texture sets, not every single texture is sized for 096 by 4096. So like this one, for example, you can see it's rectangular. So if you look at the actual file size on the PNG itself, it'll tell you what it is. So like in this case, you can see it says at the bottom dimensions is 4096 by 2048. So you want to make sure that when you export this file, it's the same. So you can click on this little lock here, and you can set the other one if they're both, you know, different sizes. If they're both the same size, obviously, or they're both the same, yeah, on both the width and the height, if they're both the same, you can set them the same. Otherwise, if they're different, you just click the lock and it unlocks it and you can set it to something different. So yeah, just make sure when you're exporting it at the correct size that matches the original size of the file. You can go to File, and then you can hit export textures. And since I only did the base, I can only check that one. Obviously, if you did the other ones, you want to leave those checked. And then you have an output directory. You can reroute it, so I'll just put it on the desktop. And then we can hit export. And now we can open the output directory. The only thing we're concerned with is the PNG. That's base color. The height, metallic, the normal, the roughness, we don't really need to worry about. So we can exit this out. Cut this. We will insert it in here. Important thing to note. You'll notice how it says shotgun underscore LOD0 underscore combat shotgun underscore base color. We need to change this file name. This file name needs to match with the associated file. So this one's combat shotgun underscore barrel. This one's combat shotgun underscore base. So we want this to be renamed combat shotgun underscore base.png. Same name as the file we're associating it with. And after we do that, we can take this file, we can put it in an auto Heckin texture converter, and we can just drag it right on top. Don't worry about this. There we go. You have a TGA file now. You shouldn't be able to open it, but it should be a TGA file. You can take that out, and you can go back here. Now, you need to create the proper file directory for this. In this case, for the combat shotgun, you want to create a new folder called gameresources. Within that folder, you want to create one called art within there. Weapons within there. Combat shotgun. Now, obviously this is specific to the combat shotgun. Different weapons are going to have different directories. What I would encourage you to do is to find a mod that's already for the weapon that you're modding and see how it's set up its directory. You can just go inside the zip file and look at the directory. You don't even need to extract it. And you copy that file path exactly right down to the actual image itself, but instead of using their image, obviously you use your own. So in this case, right here, this will probably also work for like enemy textures and stuff like that. Again, this is just specific to the combat shotgun. After you do that, take this, send to compressed folder, name it whatever you want. I'll name it lime shotgun base tutorial. And then navigate right back to your Doom Eternal directory. Have it up here, I believe. Yep. Put it into the mods folder. There we go. And if everything is done right, and you'll be able to generally see in the mod injector, it'll tell you if it managed to inject properly. So I will show you that right now. Mod injector.bat. Checking for mods. Found one file. Replaced one file. So it should be working. Customize, Slayer, and boom! As you can see, the back of my combat shotgun is now green. Fire down open level. Yep, same thing. You can barely tell because I don't have an FOV mod on, but yeah. So, there you go. Now you can mod any weapon to look however you like with this. So, get going.